are going to have a class on arrays in C++. So here we are going to discuss what is an array, what is the use of an array, what is the advantage of an array, and how the array will be implemented using C++ programming language. So before going to this, we are going to have a quick review on what is a variable in C++. So variables in C++. Whenever we are doing a mathematical operation, where we are doing manual computing, we are using certain objects like or variables like a, b, c, x, y, z for storing our data to the variable. So in computer languages, when we are doing some computer operations and when we are writing computer programs, we also need to have some certain kind of data, and data are to be stored in the memory. So how we are doing this? We are doing this by using variables. So here we will specify the type of data which needs to be stored in the variable by declaring the variable like int a and a is equal to 10. Here it says that a is a variable of type integer, so that we can store a data of type integer into the variable a. So when we are storing 10 to a, this will be stored in memory. So we should definitely know that how this data is getting stored inside memory. So inside the memory, we have a certain kind of memory locations, and each memory location has their own addresses. So inside computer memory, we have lots of memory locations. Each memory location has its own memory addresses, and we know that in programming we have the following basic data types, that is int, float, char, void, and each of these data type needs some memory to store in the memory. So needs some memory to store the data in the memory. So integer takes 4 bytes of memory, 4 bytes of memory. Float also takes 4 bytes of memory. Character take 1 byte of memory, and void take 0 byte of memory. That means void does not take any byte of memory. So we already said that inside memory we have certain memory locations, and each memory locations store 1 byte of memory. So for storing 10, that is referred by a. So a is a variable, and it can be also called as reference variable, or we can say that simply we can say that variable. So this variable holds the data 10, and 10 will take 4 bytes of memory because 10 is of type integer. So first 4 byte of memory will be taken by a, and the memory address will be a random number which is generated by the computer itself. Here we are taking 4000. So 4000, 4001, 2, 3, 4000 to 4003. Each location takes 1 byte of memory. So overall, this 4 bytes of memory can be used to store the data. So inside memory, what we are doing is, this is a variable and this is the data, and this data takes 4 bytes of memory because it is an type of integer. So first 4 bytes, 4000 to 4003. Then after that, if we are declaring some other variable into b, then next 4000, 4 to 4, 5, 6, 7. 4007 will be taken by b, and we can store a value b is equal to 20, then 20 will get stored here. So this is the simple variable, and this is how the variable data is getting stored inside memory. Now we are going to have a look at on arrays. When we are doing some mathematical operations, if we need multiple values, if consider for example, if I need 10 different integer values, using variables, what we will do is, we will declare 10 different variables for storing 10 different data. For example, if I need 10 different integer data, what will I do is int a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h, I, j. This is used to store 10 different data. But what is the disadvantage of using this is we need to use 10 different variable names. 10 different variables names. So this problem can be resolved by using the concept of array. In array we can have only a single variable name, and that variable name can be referred to 10 different data. And I will explain how it is happening. And simply when we are hearing the word array, in mind we can consider it as a container, and container which is having a number of locations, and each locations can be used to store data. For example, an integer array which contains 10 different integer data, but that array can have only a single name. We can have a more in-depth look at this. We can have array declaration, that array can be declared by using this statement, that is, we specify the data type of the array, the array name, and the size of the array. That means number is an array which is of type integer, and it can store 5 different integer values. So here we are not using 5 different variable names. Instead of that, we are using only single variable name, but we have 5 is the size, and we can store 5 different values, and all those data will be of same type. So array can be defined as array is a collection of same data type, or we can say that array is a collection of data having same data type. Okay. Then the memory locations will be happen for these 5 elements. So if our computation need 100, 200 or 1000, 2000 data of type, the same type, we can use arrays. Instead of declaring individual variable for all those data, we can use an array. So this is an integer array. Like this we can have float array, character array, whatever. Okay. Then how the memory is getting allocated. This is the declaration step, and this is how the memory is getting allocated. And if we know that array is a collection of data, so each data has its own location, and each location will be identified by a number. So that number is called index values. Index values. So this is the array name, and array has a size 5, and index values usually start with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 5 locations, and each location will be identified by a number. That number is called index values. So the range of index values will be, if the size of the array is n, if the size of the array is n, then the index value range will be 0 to n minus 1. That means if the size is 5, we can have the index value n minus 1. We can have the index value 0 to 5 minus 1, 4. So we know that the array is storing different data, and each data needs memory. So each data is integer data. So each integer data needs 4 bytes of memory. So we are taking an address 4000. Then 4000 to 4003 will be taken by the 0th position data, number of 0. 4004 to 4007 will be taken by number of 1. So it is represented by using number of 0, number of 1, number of 2. So this is how we are accessing the data from an array. We are representing or denoting the array name and also the index value. And here this is how we are accessing the array element, because array is a collection, so we need to have a way of accessing the array elements. So number of 0, number of 1, number of 2, number of 3, number of 4. So when we are declaring an array, the memory will be allocated for the array of size we specified. And how will we initialize the array, and how will we initialize the values into the array? So it can be done by using, after declaration we can have number of 0 is equal to 10. That means 10 will be stored in the position 0 of array number. That means 10 will be initialized here. Like that 12, 15, 17, 18. So this is how we are initializing data into the array, or the declaration and these initialization steps. Here we are using multiple steps. This can be combined and done in a single step by declaring the array, and we are specifying denoting an equal to symbol, and we are starting with a curly bracket, and we will write the data by separated by comma. So 10, 12, 15, 17, 18. So this is the two ways we can refer, or we can use any of these two ways. And this is a simple form because here we are using only a single line of code. If you are using for reducing the number of lines in a program, the automatically the time to run the program will get reduced, so that we can execute the program much faster than the program which is having large number of lines. So this is how we are initializing an array. And in C++, we are using cout to print values. So here we need to print the value of number. We can print by using cout number of 0. The output of this statement will be number of 0, that means 10. We know that cout is for printing, so what it will be printing is, it will print number of 0, that means 10. And this is how we are accessing the elements in an array. So this is about one-dimensional array. This is a one-dimensional array. We have only a single row of data, and we can have a table of data can be represented using array. So there we are using two-dimensional array. There we will be having rows and columns. So if we need to store a table of data, we can use two-dimensional array. And if we need to represent more complex form of arrangements, we can use multi-dimensional arrays. So this was about a single dimensional array, that's one dimensional array, and this is how we are declaring an array, initializing an array, and here we are accessing an. Hope you guys understood what I have taken.